Hi, I'm Dave from Sailing Laguna. Last week, the family arrived at the boat and we went straight into the depths of despair. There was a low voltage alarm, our main bed had gotten wet, and it was freezing cold in Hilton Head. We dragged ourselves out of the depths of despair by getting the water system running, by checking that the engines were running well, and we actually even put our sails up. We finished the family's first week on the boat with a proposition. Should we set sail to the high seas for a 160 nautical mile overnight trip to St. Augustine, which would get us into some warmer weather, or should we stay here at Hilton Head in the cold and continue to fix things on the boat? In this episode, you'll find out what we decided to do. Alright, well here we are. We're leaving Hilton Head. We've got a procession of lagoons here. We've met up some of the previous owners' friends here have decided to hold our hand as we head down the coast. We've got a bit of a nor'easter sort of blowing. We're on autopilot. So Hilton Head has served us well there, but the temperature is definitely getting too cold for us to stay any longer. So yeah, I'll have to fix up those jerry cans a little bit, but let's head out into the open ocean and see what this adventure brings. What's that?
He's pulling the sock off from the front.
Alright boys, here we are on our first ocean passage. What have you been doing today, Cooper?
Just about nothing.
Nothing, just playing on your iPad, playing cars. Oh yes. Campbell, what have you been doing?
Absolutely nothing.
Yep, nothing.
Nothing, that's right. Let's go out and have a look at Mummy.
We had a little snooze.
Alright, here's Mummy. Up at the tiller. Look at Mummy. Women who sail. There she is. In the glaring light. And we've got Zanzibar off our port. Way out there.
Hi everybody and 4JP. We're off the coast of Florida, about 30 nautical miles from shore. We're sailing from Hilton Head to a place called St. Augustine. I hope everybody had a good time at camp. I would have really liked being there, especially the muddy bits.
Unfortunately, I didn't get any footage throughout the night, but this image helps to show that we actually ended up quite a way off the coast. Alright, well, here we are. We're just in our first night passage, Samantha.
Yeah, first night passage.
So we probably started with about 15 knots, I guess, coming from, from behind. Got a little bit. We had a few slaps there, I guess, on the catamaran, like when the wave hits the underneath of the catamaran. And then as the wind died off to sort of 10 knots, we started to get a bit of slapping of the sails. So we pulled the sails down, I guess, about 1 a.m. And we've just been motor sailing through the rest of the night there. We come through a few shipping lanes. Sam, did you see any ships?
Yep.
But apart from that,
Luckily, they stayed out of our way.
Oh, did they?
Well, while we're under sail, they did. And I haven't been near any with the sails down. So, and
yeah.
we're cruising. We're kind of we're doing the passage with 3 other catamarans. So we've still got one very close to us, probably 1 nautical mile away, where we've been able to see them the whole way, and the 2 others are a little bit bigger. They're Lagoon 450s, so they
yeah, so I think it's about a 200 nautical mile passage, just under 200 nautical miles that we've done, and I think the Lagoon 450s I think are about 20 nautical miles ahead, maybe 25 nautical miles ahead.
Heading to St. Augustine, obviously. Yeah, so now we've got this beautiful sunrise.
Leto!
Whoa! We found land, Campbell. We found land. Hold on.
No!
Quick, hold on. Otherwise we'll fall over the side. We'll fall over the side. Campbell.
Obviously, yeah.
The Bridge of St. Lions was the perfect finale to our first passage. To think that the family had only been on the boat 6 days, and I for only 12, yet we had completed our first ocean passage, an overnight one at that. This sailing life is looking up. Yay, Mummy! Yoo-hoo! Welcome to port, Mummy!
We're going to put the tender into the water, as you can see. So, yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Whoa.
Again, Daddy!
Again, Daddy.
Campbell, you're going down.
Oh dear. Daddy's got to remember to do that, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Campbell, always
No,
remember.
you didn't see that. I'm getting the water out the tender.
Why is there water in the tender?
Because you went wrong.
Yeah, because you forgot to do that.
Oh, okay.
And water got in.
And they're off.
After a little afternoon nap, it was time to go ashore and explore St. Augustine. Each year, the city puts on an amazing Christmas lights display, so we walked around town and took in all of the brilliant displays. Even the cold front that came through that night couldn't dampen our spirits. Geez, it came close. Oh no! Alright, here's Samantha. Samantha has just kneaded
Just got out of bed.
our first loaf of bread, and then
Rice.
we've just heated the oven to about 30 degrees because it's about 5 degrees outside at the moment.
About 3 degrees outside.
And we're going to leave that in there. The oven's turned off, but it's nice and warm. We'll leave that in there for about half an hour until it doubles in size. Alright, well here's the finished product.
Hey.
We have our little buns. And Sam is just cutting up our loaf.
And then
Oh dear, don't look at that bit.
But the little buns are yummy.
Yeah, little buns are yummy. We continued our exploration of St. Augustine the next day with a historical trolley tour. The boys got a kick out of riding in an open carriage like this, and I got to listen to the onboard commentary. We had a great conductor for part of the journey, in his 30s, I guess, with long hair, a little bit of a unique voice, liked to drop subtle jokes. It was really good. Like, if you know who I'm talking about, please comment below. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, then please still comment below. Before you buy your tickets for the trolley, make sure you check out our online prices. Another popular activity is a tour of the old fort, the Castillo di San Marcos. Now, are you ready for a brief little history lesson? You see, St. Augustine calls itself America's oldest city, but well, obviously, the American Indians were already here, and St. Augustine was founded when the Spanish came here to plan an attack on the French settlement in Jacksonville. So maybe St. Augustine is more accurately the oldest continuous European founded settlement. Interestingly, the French from Jacksonville sailed down to attack the Spanish at St. Augustine, but were decimated by a hurricane. So the general of the St. Augustine fort or area then marched to the French settlement and slaughtered the remaining men. Of course, there weren't many left. Then when he returned to St. Augustine, they rounded up any of the hurricane survivors and they slaughtered most of them as well. Once again, another brutal part of history. Eventually, the Castillo di San Marcos was built to defend against future incursions and was never penetrated, but it did change hands peacefully a few times. Of course, there are a range of other activities in St. Augustine. I think you could easily spend a full week visiting things like the lighthouse, Alligator Park, walking across the bridge, which for some reason we didn't do. But there are a number of museums and galleries, and the list probably goes on. It felt a little like a tourist trap in some of the places of St. Augustine. For instance, like the museum of the oldest museum, which is really just a modern replica of something that may or may not have actually existed back in the day. But a bit like Jack Black's greatest song in the world. It's not really the greatest song, it's a song of the greatest song. Anyway.
We need to get down there in 5 or 10 minutes, for the next trolley will be there in 5 or 10 minutes. See? The trolley is leaving.
Oh, the trolley's leaving. We've missed it then. We actually only had the first few nights on the moorings, and then all the moorings were actually booked out. So we had to anchor to the south, and then the next night we anchored to the north of the mooring fields, as highlighted on this diagram. Also, the river behind is nice and close to supermarkets and stores, West Marine and things like that, but you will need to find a dinghy dock, and there are several marinas, but that's going to be a little bit harder for you to find that dinghy dock. Anyway, the water still isn't warm enough to swim in, so we must up anchor and continue our sail south. Please subscribe so that you can see our next adventure down to a place called Ponce Inlet.